Okay. It's a good day to be alive now. Well, actually, that's debatable. I think I'm coming down with a cold. So that's unfortunate for me. But anyway, that's why we're not here right now. I am here to complain about the worst, shittiest reading month that I have ever had in my life. Okay. December has been an awful reading month. I mean, I only have one book that I'm going to talk about that I actually completed. All the other books I DNF'd. So this should be a short video because I don't have much to say about these books, but I didn't finish them. Okay. Okay. All right. The original Coca-Cola. Come on, guys. First, I have Undeniable by Melanie Harlow. This is the only book that I finished from this month. I read it in the beginning of this month. I believe it was like the first or second day of the month. So it was like all the way in the beginning. And let me tell you. Hold on. Okay, so I believe I said, let me tell you. Anyway, I don't remember why, but let's discuss a little bit about Undeniable. So this is another book by Melanie Harlow. I've mentioned a few times, so I'm slowly getting into her. This is a small town, enemies to lovers romance. They grew up as rivals, and they've always kind of had a thing for each other or whatever. So you see like the past and the present in this book, and what leads or kind of like sets it off in the present is that both of them are into bourbon. That they just like to sit around and drink bourbon all the time. No. No. They're both into, making bourbon and selling bourbon. And so I think her name's Chloe. I forgot her name. The FMC. I'm just gonna call her Chloe, even her name isn't Chloe, but I think it is Chloe. So Chloe wants to get into the bourbon business, and Oliver already has some experience. So her dad's like, you should work with Oliver. She doesn't want to, but it ends up happening. And then, well, yeah, the enemies become lovers. So that's all I'm gonna say. It was good. I liked it. I finished it in like a day or two. It's a short book. I believe, how many pages is it? Oh yeah, it's only 269 pages. So yeah. Oh, one more thing. I mean, I guess I will rate it because I don't know. I finished it. It was good. I enjoyed it. So I'll just give it a 4-star. How about that? Okay. So yeah. Now let's talk about the books that I did not finish. So, first I'll mention Grave Matter by Karina Hale. I want to point out something though. This book's a little different from the other books on the list that I did not finish. I'm putting this book on pause. I did DNF it, but that's because I wanted to read some other books. But this book is on pause. I was interested enough to continue reading it, but I was not interested enough to finish it. So it's on pause. Okay? I have every intention of picking this book back up again. When? I have no idea. I got no clue. No clue. But maybe what I'll do is if there ends up being an audiobook, hopefully there's an audiobook that ends up coming out, and then I'll just listen to the audiobook. Hopefully. So that's my plan. But so yeah. That didn't even make sense. That wasn't even a sentence. So from what I remember about this book, Sydney the FMC, first of all, this is what is this? Yes, this is a dark gothic romantic psych thriller. So yes, Sydney is a grad student, and she, if my brain will process, she's on this island or whatever, this place. she's at a place, of course, yeah. So she's at a place with a bunch of these other grad students that are studying the cure to Alzheimer's disease, I believe. So there is that. There's ghosts, there's paranormal stuff, and her love interest is one of the professors there. So yeah, and that's all I will say. That's all I got. That's all I. What do you want from me? Okay, this was a shitty reading month, and I am not on my A game. Well, actually, I don't think you guys have ever seen me on my A game yet, but I'm especially not on it because, like I said, I think I'm coming down with something. So the fact that I'm even here right now, I mean, appreciate me. Okay, so next, all these other books that I'm about to mention are Christmas books. So let's talk about that. You hear me? Christmas books, and I DNF'd a lot of books this year. I wasn't expecting much at all, really, from these books. Wait, actually, I guess I actually kind of did finish this book. The Plight Before Christmas by Kate Stewart. Yes, I guess I kind of did finish this book, but let me tell you this. I didn't fully read it. I kind of got bored, and so then I kind of skipped around in the book, and then I just started skimming things. So if that counts as finishing it, then I guess I finished it. So yeah, but I'm not gonna rate it. But let me see. So this book was basically about the FMC's family. They all go to this house or whatever during Christmas and they celebrate. The FMC's brother invited his coworker, which is also his good friend, and his coworker is the FMC's ex who broke her heart 20 years ago. So they're stuck in this house for I don't remember how many days, and bringing up old feelings, old memories, the good, the bad, the ugly, or whatever. And they're also rebuilding their relationship in the present. I mean, of course, she's fighting it, but it's inevitable. Of course, they end up together. So, yeah, I would never reread this, but it was good-ish. I don't know. I didn't really read it. Well, no, I did, but I didn't fully read it because again, like I said, I skimmed around. I didn't have to tell you that. I could have just told you that I read it fully, but I'm choosing to be honest with you guys, okay? How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Meghan Quinn. Now, I'm not even done with this book. I can't even rate it, and honestly, at this point, I don't know if I will finish it because Christmas is over. So, yeah, and I never, I downloaded this book so I can read it on my Kindle, right? I actually never read it on Kindle. How I've been reading this book, and yes, reading, I've been listening to it through the audiobook. So, yes, and that does count as reading. Why? Because I said so. And this is my channel. I make the rules here, not you. You don't get a say. I make the rules over here. Okay, anyway. I listened to it on Audible, and I am not done. I think where I'm at, I think I have 10 chapters left of the book. So I don't know if I'll just go ahead and just try to finish it. It's why not? But I don't know. I did not get to the candy cane scene, I will say that. So for those of you who have read it or have at least heard about it, I did not get there. And now I don't know if I ever will. But I will say, so far, it's interesting enough to where I could listen to it on an audiobook, but it's not interesting enough to where I could read it myself, and it's not interesting enough to where I could have finished the audiobook. I don't even remember when I started the audiobook. You guys, I started that audiobook a while ago. Probably 2 weeks ago. So, do with that information that you will. But to give you a little information on this story, this is an enemies to lovers, small town romance. the FMC and the MMC are competing to win this Christmas Kringle competition. I believe that is what it's called. Yes, they are competing to win it. The FMC is competing to win because her great aunt is not capable of doing it because, well, she's old. And the MMC is doing it as revenge against the FMC because he wants to win, because he doesn't like her because of beef that happened 10 years ago. Which actually, I will say, here's my thing with enemies to lovers. It's got to make sense why you're enemies to lovers. Like, I will tell you, at least in my opinion, the reason why he was having beef with her for 10 years is so fucking stupid, okay? Like that was, I mean, like, sir, she didn't know. And I get that you were like, what, 19 or whatever, but like, I'm 19. I mean, I guess I can't expect everyone to be like so mature and amazing like me, but still. So, anyway, it's still December. What day is it? Oh, it's the 28th for me. I don't know what day it is for you, nor do I care. But how was your Christmas or your holidays, or just how was your day if you didn't celebrate? You know, I hope it was good. So, yeah, my day was good too. Thanks for asking. Christmas was good. So, yeah. Let's talk about these two dark romance Christmas books. I thought that these books, because they were dark romance, I thought, okay, I will be able to successfully read a dark romance Christmas book because, you know, it's dark romance, you know? Hello. Hello. To know me is to know that I am a dark romance girl. Okay? Anyway. So, what? Bought by Santa by whatever. Bought by Santa. Okay? The title already says a lot. I this was probably actually the best Christmas book I read this year because I think it was the furthest one that I have gotten into, but I didn't finish it. So yeah. So Bought by Santa is a dark romance, you know, Christmas novella. So it started out interesting for me. The MMC, he needs an heir. The FMC needs money. And so they make an agreement. And she is referred to as the breeder. And this wasn't originally, you know, she was just gonna have the baby or whatever, and then like she'll be on her merry way once she has the baby and she'll get her money, right? Right. Of course that isn't what happens because, you know, of course it's a dark romance book. Of course, like, you know, so of course they end up, you know, having, well, a lot of sex. And then he's like, I love you. And then I guess she's like, I love you. And then, like, I don't know. There were just like some things. I'm trying to like remember what kind of threw me off about this book. There was just, oh, I think, okay, I feel like, here's my thing. I feel like I actually would have finished this book if I had read it in the beginning of this month instead of the end, because by the time I had read this book, I was already fed up with my reading month because, like, again, like I said, it hasn't been that good. So I feel like I was already kind of in a mood. And so my patience or whatever was already thin. And so I that's kind of how and why I ended up DNFing this book because I feel like normally the things that actually did kind of bother me about this book wouldn't have bothered me, or it would have bothered me a little bit, but I would have let it go. I didn't let it go. I was just like, fuck this. I'm done. So yeah, from what I remember, I think something that did bother me was some of the choice of words. Like, you know, I don't know. I'm not gonna say it, but there were some choice of words that I kind of did not like when they were, you know, having sex. I was like, okay, well, that is cringy. I don't like that word, but you know, cringy is cringy, and I did cringe when I was reading some of those words because I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of gross, like that, you know, and like I am not a prude, okay? I am not. I read a lot of dark romance, so I've read a lot of it. I know a lot of the vocabulary or whatever when certain scenes are being described. But again, like I said, I was in a mood, so I feel like I just had low tolerance. I had a low tolerance, and something else that happened because I guess I kind of got bored, and then I skipped around and I went a few chapters ahead, and I saw that the FMC's sister died. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not even going to explain it. But, the FMC did everything for her sister, and then her sister gets murdered. So I'm like, I'm not. And so I was like, dipped. I'm done. Silent Night. By who? Silent Night by M.L. Philip? I don't know. Something like that. So this book, this was my first attempt at a dark romance Christmas novella, and I didn't make it that far in this one either, unfortunately. So I don't even remember really what this is. It's kind of like I don't remember that much, but it's kind of the premise of it, I guess, is just this guy, right? Well, yes, this guy, the MMC, he robs people's houses every year on Christmas. Well, actually, I don't remember if he does that every year on Christmas or is that just something he does like all year round. I don't remember. Anyway, he does that. He robs people's houses. And one of the houses that he robs was, I don't know, maybe 5 years before the president in the book. And he met the FMC and she let him get away. So there you go. But and then of course they meet again in the future when he tries to rob her house again. And yeah, and attraction or whatever just becomes them. Because yes, it is normal to be attracted to somebody who's just a stranger in your house robbing you, right? Natural. You would be attracted to somebody, right? Right? So yeah. Again, I'm being so critical because my month was terrible with reading. Normally, I am not like this, but hey, we roll with the punches, okay? Well, I don't know why I said that. But anyway, those are all the books that I've read this month. See, I told you it was going to be a short video. This will probably be my shortest video on this channel thus far. Well, maybe only because, I'm a yapper. I talk a lot, but you should enjoy that. I get me 24/7. You only get me in small doses. So you should take what you get because I'm amazing. Don't argue with me, okay? I am. I said it. My channel, my rules. I make the law. You don't. It's not democracy over here. Oh, technically, though, I did read another book. Well, it's not technically. I did. There's no technicality about it. I did read another book, but I'm not talking about it right now because I'm counting this series. I'm reading ACOTAR. I'll say that. I'm reading ACOTAR right now, and I'm counting this series for 2025. So I did read ACOTAR, and I finished it. I did finish it, and I actually rated it a 4-star. It brought me out of my reading slump. I will say that. But it's not a part of this wrap-up. So forget that you even saw that book. It's not a part of the wrap-up because this series is actually I'm vlogging it. It's going to be the first vlog on this channel. So, yeah, it's getting its own video. It's going to be a long vlog. So, enjoy it. So, yeah, I'm not talking about it. I keep saying I'm not talking about why I proceed to talk about it. But anyway, yeah, I'm on the second book right now. Well, that's not why we're here. Okay. But moving on to something else real quickly, and then I'll end this video, and you go on about your merry way. Why did I do that? I am not. Last month with my November wrap up, I made a December TBR in the same video. I am not doing a January TBR because, well, a few reasons. Number one, I don't want to. Number two, I'm reading ACOTAR right now, and I don't know how long that'll take me. That might take me my whole month because I am a slow reader. I am nothing but a slow reader, okay? Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, you're here. So thank you. Yeah, I'm reading ACOTAR, so I don't know how long that'll take me. So as far as like a January TBR goes, well, there you go. I'm reading ACOTAR. That's what I will be reading in January. But other than that, if I do finish ACOTAR before the month of January is over, I might reread the Darkverse series because every January I get in the mood to reread it in January. So I might get in the mood to reread it again. So if that happens, then I'll be reading the Darkverse series. So yeah, that is my January TBR right there. Okay. I will actually hear. Okay. Listen. I got the Darkverse series as a Christmas gift, so I will show you. They're not in order. Don't judge. Mind your business. Right here. So yeah, I will. Okay, see? So if I hope you were able to hear that. My mic was down here. If not, oh well. But so yeah, if I'm in the mood to reread this series after I finish ACOTAR, I will do that. I don't know how well you can see this, but if you can't, then well, that's your problem, not mine. But anyway, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you had a better reading month than I did. For all my complaining, I wouldn't wish that on anybody else. But yeah, thank you for being here. Have a good rest of your day or night. And please come back to watch more of my future videos. Bye!